If you were born in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, or early enough in the 1960s, that means you were around when the Bee Gees arrived at the scene in the late 60s and would explode at the scene in the 70s. Now, if you were a 70s baby, an 80s baby, in my case, a 90s baby, or if you're even a 2000s baby watching this video, chances are that means, unless your parents played them a lot when you were growing up, that growing up, you likely did not know that much about the Bee Gees outside of songs or hits like Stayin' Alive or How Deep Is Your Love or the movie Night Fever. So in this video, we're going to turn back the clock and have some fun educating ourselves with a brief example of how good the Bee Gees really were. Hang tight. Hey everybody, my name is Francis and welcome to Music Kingdom, a community created by a music lover for music lovers where we react to, review, and discuss music from all genres and decades. If you feel inclined to support me, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're feeling extra generous, I've created a Patreon which is linked in the description below, in addition to other links to things that I love and use. Now before we watch, let's briefly talk Bee Gees, and as you might be able to tell, I personally, subjectively am a huge fan. I'm just a sicko for old music in general, but Bee Gees are one of my all-time favorites. What I love about the Gibb brothers, and this is something that's becoming less and less common in today's music, is that they don't need a huge light show, they don't need dancers, they don't need pitch correction or a team of composers, producers, or writers. They just need a microphone, their blood relation, and talent. Now, while that might bore younger generations who are used to so much more, I imagine it like someone who's used to eating McDonald's and then being forced to eat vegetables. I still find it necessary to appreciate them, or at bare minimum, it's just good to know your history if you're a music lover. In the future, I probably will plan to make a video more just about the Bee Gees, elaborating on their history, talking about their extensive catalog of music, which spans 5 decades, half a century of music. But all I'll say for now is that if you associate them with Stayin' Alive, Night Fever, those disco era hits, in my opinion, they were so much more than that. Now for what it's worth, the performance I chose to watch in this video is a little bit past their earliest hits of the late 60s, but before their eventual massive hits of the late 70s. At this point in time, the Bee Gees were in a bit of a lull. They were no longer performing stadiums, at least for the time being, and it's ultimately just a raw performance where they don't need much more than a microphone and their talent to entertain. Now without further ado, let's check these guys out.
In the event of something happening to me, there is something I would like you all to see. It's just a photograph of someone that I knew. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones?
Amazing harmonies from the start.
Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you'll cause a landslide, Mr. Jones.
And they had such original lyrics as well. They were all three so different in personality and voice.
In the event of something happening to me, there is something I would like you all to see. It's just a photograph of someone that I knew. Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you cause a landslide.
Morris was a great entertainer.
If ever you got rain in your heart,
This is a good one.
someone has hurt you and torn you apart. Am I unwise to open
Great
up your
voice.
eyes to love? Run to me whenever you're lonely. To love, run to me if you need
Amazing.
a shoulder. Now and then you need someone older, so darling, you run to me.
Amazing songwriters.
And now I found that the world is round, and of course
guys, okay. Ooh, oh man, okay.
I walk the lonely streets. I watch the people. I think back.
We always clap for Robin.
I guess it all just had to be. I can't see nobody. Oh, now I can't see nobody.
The way their voices blend so well together.
My eyes can only look at you.
Now, if you happen to know your stuff about the Bee Gees, you'll know that the brothers had such differing personalities. And while they're all wearing the same shirts in this, you can kind of see their personalities in their pants. So Morris, the jokester, is just in denim blue jeans. Robin, the shy, serious one, is in black slacks. And Barry, the charismatic heartthrob, if you will, is in tight white pants. So I just find that funny. And something else I find interesting is that according to them, in their own words, Morris, the jokester, was into booze. He probably was drunk during this because he wasn't sober yet. Robin was into pills and Barry was into weed. And I just like thinking about how they each have their different vices that kind of went with their personalities. Oh. One of their biggest hits before the disco era.
I can think of younger days when living for my life was everything a man could want to do. I could never see tomorrow, but I was never told about the sorrows. How can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you
So nice.
the sun from shining? What makes the world go?
And such beautiful lyrics.
How can you mend this broken man?
And Barry had a gorgeous voice.
How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. Da, 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 da.
Wow.
And let me live again. Da 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 da
Amazing. Nothing but talent. All right, thoughts. Now, if you are a younger generation like mine or even younger than me, that might have been a little boring for you. I want to address that or acknowledge that. I've realized it's not everyone's cup of tea, especially now with such extravagant productions and the advancement of technology and music and how much it really is so much more and less raw, at least popular genres. But in spite of that, hopefully what came through, if you have any kind of love for music, affinity for music, is the word I've said a billion times already, talent. It's pure talent. These guys were not dancing up there. There wasn't a big show. It was just them, their voices, and a microphone. And perhaps, in my opinion, the Bee Gees' strongest attribute, if not their ability to compose, if not their ability to produce, and if not their ability to be songwriters, is their harmonies. The Bee Gees, I don't know if this is quantifiable. I don't know if this can be backed by science, but I have this theory where because they are brothers, because they are related, two of them are twins and Barry's the older brother, they have this intangible magic, if you will, this intangible energy that's hard to break down mathematically, but where their harmonies are so tight and they fit so well together, the blending of their voices with each other. And no, while I did not flat out sob, I definitely got a bit teary when they were performing World earlier in the video. And it's simply, in my opinion, because of the talent. I think I just have a soft spot for the Bee Gees in particular, but also when talent is so beautiful in their lyrics and their harmonies, in the composition of the song, I get caught up in it, that's for sure. Another thing I love about the Bee Gees is their evolution. Over the 5 decades that they made music, they were always evolving or shape-shifting or sounding different than they did before, which in my opinion is a true sign of artistry. And what we just watched is such a far cry from, well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. That disco stuff, and I use air quotes because the film they were associated with, Night Fever, is a disco film, but when you listen to the music itself and disassociate it from the film, it really was just more R&B, soul, funk music. It's very different than what they would do after that, it's very different than what they just did before that, and what they did before what we just watched. Always evolving, always changing. So while what we watched is just a teeny tiny raw sample size of what they were capable of as composers, producers, songwriters, and their ultimate evolution as artists, hopefully it did a decent enough job of exposing you to a different flavor of the Bee Gees that kids of the 80s, 90s, or even 2000s, for good reason, just might not know about. And by chance, if you're watching this and you were around for the Bee Gees and you're a bit older than myself, let me know what you think in the comments below. I think that'd be really cool. And if you're part of the younger generation, such as myself, I'd love to hear what you think of it as well. Otherwise, thank you for listening with me. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, as it really supports myself and the channel. If you'd like to support me further, check out the links in the description. This has been another edition of Music Kingdom. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to jamming with you in the next one.